tests for parallelograms. In the previous chapter, we learned that if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then opposite sides are congruent, opposite angles are congruent, diagonals bisect, and opposite sides congruent, right? In this chapter, we are given these theorems which state that if a quadrilateral has opposite sides congruent, then it is a parallelogram. So this theorem here can be used to prove that a shape is a parallelogram by proving that opposite sides are congruent. This theorem here lets us prove that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram if we can show that opposite angles are congruent. If we can show that the diagonals bisect each other, then we can prove that the shape is a parallelogram. And if we have opposite sides parallel and congruent, then we can state that the shape is a parallelogram. So we want to use this to solve some problems, and let's look at this first one here. Let me zoom in since the type is so small. And what does it say? It says if fk here is 3x minus 1, and kg here is 4y plus 3, jk here is 6y minus 2, and kh is 2x plus 3. Find x and y so that the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So if we're given that it's a parallelogram, that means the diagonals need to bisect each other, which means fk is equal to kh, and the measure of jk is equal to the measure of kg, so we can create our equations and solve for x and y. So let me go ahead and make the first one. It's fk is equal to kh, which is 3x minus 1 is equal to kh, which is 2x plus 3. And then we're going to solve for it using our math. So we're going to do x is equal to 4, and we're done. And the next one is we are going to do y, which is going to be 4y plus 3 is equal to 6y minus 2. And then we're going to math it up, and we get 2y is equal to 5, which means y is equal to 2 and 1/2. Alright, we have a couple more examples down here before I let you loose on these problems at the bottom. And so it's find x and y so that each quadrilateral is a parallelogram. And so we know that opposite angles need to be congruent in order for it to be proven a parallelogram. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to set this angle measure equal to this angle measure, and this one here equal to this one there, and solve. Right. So we'll have 56 is equal to 7x. So we'll get x is equal to 8. And then we'll solve for y. So we'll have 5y minus 26 is equal to 4y plus 4. So that gives us y is equal to 30. So those are our answers there. And now we're going to look at this shape here, and if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram if the opposite sides are congruent. So we can go ahead and create our equations by saying 3x plus 4 is equal to 5x minus 2. Solve for x, so we'll get 2x is equal to 6, x is equal to 3. We'll create our other equation by setting these opposite sides equal to each other. So we'll get 4y minus 9 is equal to 2y plus 5. We'll subtract, we'll get 2y is equal to 14, and y is equal to 7. Right. So I'll go ahead and let you work on these problems down here, and I'll show you the answers in the next video.